organized one of the most important teachings of the Supreme Buddha. The main objectives of this wonderful, meritorious deed. Mainly transfer merits to departed relatives, as mentioned before, and give blessings to Hemanta Ovitikam Ayya, and give blessings to Dinuli Idrisinghe for celebrating her birthday, and Oshada as well, and obtain blessings to everyone. And as Buddhists, having the wish to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana as well. So first of all, I would like to say something about our Sudhir Mahatma. We need many more people like Sudhir Mahatma to the temple. I'm genuinely saying this. He contributes a lot to the temple, having close with Nayaka Handro and for us as well. So, anyway, so today, all of you must be so happy to be able to accomplish this wonderful, meritorious deed. So in the teachings of the Buddha, for all of us, monks and lay people and everyone, is mainly supposed to do one thing. That is, to develop our minds. That's the main objective of the teachings of the Buddha. Chittam bhave tabbam. We have to develop our mind. That's why we all perform various types of meritorious deeds. So if we look at this meritorious deed, whether knowingly or unknowingly, you develop number of virtues in your hearts, and all those virtues help and contribute to develop the mind. Develop the mind. So, the maximum level that we can develop our mind is to the level of the Supreme Buddhahood. And what the Buddha did was, he developed the human mind to the maximum capacity, and achieving and realizing everything and taught to the people out of great compassion. So today I would like to share some teachings of the Buddha based on one of the famous discourses that he has given, named in Pali Singalovada, advice to the person called Singala. So it's a very long discourse. I'm not going to teach all the discourse. I'm going to teach you some facts related to this particular meritorious deed. Okay? So when we read this sutra or the discourse, or in any other discourse of the Buddha, that we can find something very interesting. That is that we don't find Buddhism talks about rights. Today there are people talk about many rights, right? Women's right, children's right, many. Instead, what Buddhism talks about is what you have to do, what you have to contribute, or what are your duties. If everyone performs their duties, what happens? everyone's rights preserved. And it's not like abide by a law. You have to fulfill the duties having the spiritual qualities like compassion, loving kindness, etc. So, in this particular sutra, the discourse called Singalovada Sutra is a very famous one. It's called Layman's Code of Discipline. So, in this sutra, the Buddha has taught us the duties of all the roles that you have to play in the society. It's not like for us. You have so many roles to play. Right? For example, like being a father, you have to fulfill your duties towards the children. And as a husband, to the wife. And as a citizen, to the government of the country. And as the follower of Buddhism, as a dayaka, you had to fulfill the duties to the temple and to the monks. And at the same time, to the parents as well. So many duties that you have to play. So, as parents, what are the duties that the parents have to play or fulfill towards the children? So there are 5 duties that the parents have to fulfill towards the children. As I mentioned before, parents have to fulfill them having compassion, loving kindness, appreciative joy, which is called mudita, and having all these good qualities. So the very first duty of the parents towards children is, I hope most of you know, in Pali it is called Papa Nivaranti. Papa Nivaranti, which means the parents have to avoid their children or keep away the children from what? Papa? Unwholesome actions. That's the very first one. So in order to do that, parents have to know what are the unwholesome actions, how they can happen, and most important, what are the consequences. They have to teach the children. So teaching or saying is not enough. Everyone can say. But they have to show by being an example to the children. Refrain from or keep away from unwholesome actions. Because unwholesome actions, if someone performs unwholesome actions, he has to suffer a lot in this very life that we can witness. And even after the lives as well. They have to suffer. So, the number one duty of the parents is keep the children away from unwholesome actions. Then number 2. Number 2 is lead them to perform meritorious deeds or guide them to practice wholesome actions. Kalyane nivasanti. Kalyana means good things. So parents have to teach them, the children, what are the good things. What is the good behavior? As I mentioned before, saying, teaching, and at the same time showing being an example, performing wholesome actions, good actions. So that's the second duty. So that the very first one was keep them away from unwholesome action. Then not stop there, guide them to perform meritorious deeds, which you do today, great meritorious deed. And the third one is in Pali called Sikkhan Sikkhapanti, which means giving them a proper education and guide them to find a suitable profession. That's also parents' duty. Right? Parents do these things. Most what we see is they have given the priority to the third one, seems like the education. So the teachings of the Buddha has given the third priority for the education. So the first one is the character, the personality, the good behavior. That's the most important thing. Right? So that's the third one. So then the fourth duty that the parents have to do, I don't think that's today that they have to do this. That is, find them a suitable partner. Suitable partner. So that's the fourth one. The fifth one is transfer inheritance in due times. In due times. So these are the duties that the parents have to fulfill towards the children. So as I mentioned before, it's not that you have to fulfill this like a law. Right? You have to do this out of compassion. So in the teachings of the Buddha, it's clear that the Buddha has explained in so many occasions. The parents have 4 special qualities or the virtues towards the children. They are called Brahma Vihara, sublime states. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. So the Metta means the genuine wish of the children's well-being. Metta is a subject of bhavana that we have to practice towards all living beings. So the Buddha said parents have this specific quality towards children. They not only wish, they do anything. They're even ready to put their lives on the line to make sure the children's welfare. So, then karuna. So when the children is in trouble, the parents are the ones who comes forward and try to them help. That's called karuna. Then mudita. Mudita means in English appreciative joy. When someone achieves something great, that we have to be happy. So in children's success, the parents are the ones who are mostly happy. Do you know what's the opposite one? What's the opposite of mudita or appreciative joy? So jealousy. Jealousy. So the parents genuinely happy. So then the fourth one is called upekha, neutral mindset. It says when children grow up and when they do their things by their own, then parents become more neutral minded, equanimity. So these are the qualities that the parents have towards the children. So now, the children's duties towards the parents, according to this sutra. So before that, there are many occasions that the Buddha has said that it's almost impossible to fulfill the gratitude towards the parents for what they have done. It's very, very difficult. There is a simile, an analogy, to explain how it is difficult to fulfill the duties. It says, if a son or daughter keeps the parents on the shoulders, both shoulders, and doing everything for 100 years, but still it's not enough. It says that's how it's difficult to pay or to fulfill the gratitude to the parents. But still there's a way that is help parents to develop spiritual qualities, like to practice sila and teaching them or helping them to acquire some knowledge about the teachings of the Buddha. So that's how a child can pay the debts. So anyway, so let's see what are the duties that the children have to fulfill towards the parents. It says, Bhato nesam bharissami in Pali, which means children have to think, my parents supported me, nourished me, so it's my duty to support them back. This is especially in the old age. The children have to feed the parents, support them. That's the first one. So this they have to do is as paying or showing the gratitude. And when someone helps us, we keep it in our mind and help them back in return. Yes, we don't expect anything when we help somebody, but it's our duty when someone helps us to keep in our mind. So Buddha said it's a very, very rare virtue among the human beings. Very rare. Having the gratitude. So the children have to support parents out of gratitude. Then the second one is called Kiccang Nesam Karissami. Just feeding is not enough. We have to do almost everything. Bathing, cleaning, massaging, everything. And even stop other duties and give the priority to the parents. That's what it says in the commentaries. You have to give the priority. Kiccang nesam karissami. That's the second one. So the third one, kulavansam tapessami, which means keep the family lineage, family name forward. That's also children's duty. Without defaming or destroying the family name. So that's the duty of the children. Then the fourth one is called Dayajjam Patipajjam, which means, as I mentioned before, the parents supposed to transfer the inheritance to the children. So if the children do not do well, parents do not like to give them. Right? So children have to think, we have to do things well to get what parents have, willingly, not forcefully. So you have to do things well, children. Otherwise, it says in the ancient times, if the children do bad stuff, they dispel. So, these are the duties that the children have. And I miss one, that is the protecting the parents' inheritances and wealth. As they work so hard and earn the wealth, it says it can be heartbroken of the parents if the children destroy what they earn. So it's children's duty to protect them. So these are the duties of the children. So when these duties, both parties, if they care about these things, if they fulfill, then they can lead a happy life. Happy and peaceful life, and at the same time, as I mentioned before, you can develop the spiritual qualities, which is the most important one. Right? So as I mentioned, our main purpose, what is the main purpose of being a human being? Nayakadeva mentioned, it's incredibly difficult to be a human being according to the Buddhism. The reason is it's difficult to generate or create the conditions to be a human being. So what are the conditions to be a human being? The conditions are performing meritorious deeds. That's not easy. Right? Observing sila, protecting sila for a long time, it's not easy. And practice dana, sharing what you have, it's not easy for everyone. To be able to do these things, you have to learn the Dhamma. You have to listen to the Dhamma. You have to have some access to some deep spirituality, like the teachings of the Buddha. And we have to change the way we see the world, the way we see the things, our perspectives, according to the Dhamma. Then only we can do these things. Otherwise it's difficult, because the Buddha has said, it is easy to perform unwholesome actions, because our minds lean towards unwholesome. Pāpasmin ramati mano. It's very easy. You don't need to put any effort to do unwholesome actions. But in order to perform wholesome actions, you have to put special effort, very special effort, and we have to have some Dhamma knowledge as well. You have to learn the Dhamma and learn what are the consequences of unwholesome.
No battery, brief charge.
Okay, so we have to learn the Dhamma and change our way of seeing things, attitudes, perspectives, so then we can easily develop the good qualities, the virtues, and avoid unwholesome actions. And when you do these things, means you take the maximum benefit of being a human being. So having said this, I'm going to stop my small advice. So any questions of what I've been saying here? No? Okay, it's all right. So then, today, all of you, first of all, observe 5 precepts, then offered the puja, served monks with delicious meals, listen to Pirit chanting, listen to Dhamma talk. You generated, accumulated enormous amounts of merits in your hearts. So now, let's transfer, let's share these merits with departed relatives. May all our relatives accept these merits, and may they be well, happy, and may they achieve the final bliss of Nibbana. Idam menatinam hotu sukita huntu natayo. Idam menatinam hotu sukita huntu natayo. Idam menatinam hotu sukita huntu natayo. Let's transfer merits to the Devas as well. May all the deities accept these merits and may protect all of us. Ittavata chamhi sambetam punya sambedam sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe sampatti siddhya. Ittavata chamhi sambetam punya sambedam sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe sampatti siddhya. Ittavata chamhi sambetam punya sambedam sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe sampatti siddhya. Sirissa niccam Adhapacārino cattaro dhamma vaddhanti āyuvanno sukham balam āyurārogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevaca ato nibbāna sampatti mināte samijjatu. පොඩි ධර්මයේදී මතක් කරන්න තිබෙනවා පින්වතුන්ට අපේ කුඩා විහාරස්ථානයට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය තිබෙන ධර්මශාලාව ඉදි කරන්නට මේ දිනවල කටයුතු සම්පාදනය කරමින් සිටිනවා. ඉතින් අපේ ශ්‍රද්ධාවන්ත පින්වතුන්ට පුළුවන් ඒ පින්කම් වලට තමන්ගේ හැකි දායකත්වය සපයන්නට අපේ බුද්ධ ශාසනයෙහි ඉදිරි ප්‍රවැත්මෙන් විශේෂයෙන් තරුණ දරුවන්ට මේ අධ්‍යයනාදී මේ බුද්ධ ශාසනයෙන් ලබා ගන්නට පුළුවන්, ලබා දෙන්නට පුළුවන් ඒ වටිනාම දායාදයේ උතුම් ශ්‍රී සද්ධර්මය ලබලා දෙන්නට, ඒ වගේම මේ ධර්මය ඉගෙන ගන්නට, ධර්මයේ පිළිබඳව උනන්දුව, ඒ ධර්මකාමීත්වය තිබෙන